Alright guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be installing a home battery backup system for our house. I've always wanted one because when the power goes out, your food thaws out, you have no water, and it just sucks. So today I'm installing the simplest portable power battery backup system for your home. Now there's a couple things with this. Obviously you get power when the grid goes down, but also you can save money with this system by using the power from the battery during on-peak hours and charging it during off-peak hours. I'll get into the math of how much you're actually going to save, but right now let's get into the install. This is heavy. Freaking carbon fiber? Is it real carbon fiber? Ooh. All right, here it is, the Anker SOLIX F3800 portable power station. Portable as in you can actually take it with you and it's just not mounted to your wall, which I think is a huge plus. Now the specs on this is it's 3,800 watts of juice and you can output 6,000 watts at a given time. If you drew 3,800 watts from a device like a water heater, this would last 1 hour. Heating water actually takes a lot of electricity. We're gonna be using this to power like our essential items like our fridge, our water pump, and a couple lights. Also, we're gonna use it to power our furnace room because we're on natural gas, but we still need to ignite that flame so we can heat our home. And we'll see how long this actually will last by doing just that. Now you can charge it on solar. We do have a home solar system here, so it will be able to charge it while the grid's up. It won't be able to charge it though while the grid's down. I think I did figure out how to get around that, and I'll show you that a little later. So right now we're going to be installing this, and we're going to be installing it with the home power panel. The home power panel, as you'll see, it will automatically switch over and use this when the grid goes down, and then also it'll use the power from this during on-peak hours and charge this during off-peak hours, or we can have this charge when the solar's up, so we're not using any power from the grid. We can then store that solar power and use that during the night. All right, so let's get into it. I don't recommend you doing this. Hire an electrician to do this. I'm a professional homeowner, so I think I'm qualified. First things first, I'm going through my circuit breakers, seeing what appliances that I want to stay on when the power goes out. I'm basically making it so if we're not here and the power goes out, then it'll automatically switch on the circuits that I want. And then if we're here and the power goes out, I'll probably get a notification. I'll come, hit the interlock switch. That will make it so all the power will go into the whole house, into the hangar, and no power will go back to the grid and electrocute people that are working on the wires trying to fix it. Mount these first, and then we'll run our wires. So now I got my circuits all labeled, so when I take this off, I know which ones to move over. I got my little helper right here. First one down. I think I have a plan. Works. Oh. Into the wall, and then I can run my wires up to the main panel and the sub panel. Ow. Remember, I'm a professional homeowner. Ow. Ow. Ugh. That was my pinky. Hold her tight. Through. 4 wires in here. 3 6-gauge and 1 10-gauge. We gotta go through this conduit, into the wall, up into this panel. Then from the panel, we have to actually go over to the main panel. This is a 100 amp breaker, goes through 3-gauge wire, goes into here. This is from the grid. And then we have backup. This is 6-gauge wire, and it goes through and it goes up here. And then these are the circuits that are the backup only circuits. So when the power goes down, the grid goes down, these will automatically stay on while the whole panel will stay off. Now, if we're home and we want the whole house to stay powered up, I'm going to come out, I'm going to disconnect from the grid, and then I'm going to connect this, which will take the power from there, from the battery backup into the main panel, and we'll have power to everything. These are the CT sensors, so this basically can tell you how much current is coming in from the grid or going out to the grid. And then this CT sensor is on the solar, and that will tell...
She's pressing buttons.
That's all right. This will tell you how much current you're getting from your solar panels and where that current's going. Okay, so I'm going to simulate a power outage like the grid goes down, kind of like what we had this winter. We actually had no power for 3 days. All right, so this is the main breaker to the... ouch! Power's now down, reads no grid power. All the power right now is coming from Anker SOLIX F3800, and it's feeding this sub panel. We aren't pulling enough, and I want to test this thing to its max. So if we're here and I want power to the entire house and the hangar, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hit this switch first. This is the breaker that feeds the Anker SOLIX to charge it. It's now off because the grid's off anyways. And now I'm going to switch this breaker, which then pulls power from the sub panel to the main panel and also the hangar. So now we're burning 2 kilowatts of power. That's still not enough. We want to max this thing out. So I don't know what else. 4 kilowatts. We still got 2 more kilowatts we could use. We got the sprinklers going. We got that heater going. We got the furnace inside going. We got the lights in the hangar going. And now we're going to try welding. Let's see if we can max out the F3800. We maxed it out. It definitely couldn't weld. It barely could weld. I know it could weld if I shut everything else off, but with the sprinklers and everything going, it could weld a pop can for sure. 4,200 watts right now, and this is gonna last for 0.7 hours, 0.6 hours. Okay, so at 0.6 hours, this is going to be dead. And hopefully, that's not very long, so hopefully the power comes on within an hour. Some cases it doesn't, and that's where it'd be nice to be able to charge this. And you can charge it with the solar panel that they have, and it does charge within 13 hours of full sun. So not quite a full day. Obviously in the winter, that's gonna be even shorter. So it's gonna give you a little bit charge back. So you're gonna have to be very conservative when you're using it. With our grid power solar, it automatically shuts down. When the grid turns off, all solar panels on the grid automatically turn off so it doesn't electrocute anybody. Kind of got around that, and that is where when I do switch this back so for the panel to come back, now my solar panels now see grid and they reactivate and they turn on. I have one set of solar panels that's kind of smaller, and the consumption I use from them, I'll use all the consumption. I never send any of that back to the grid because they're smaller. Now my big system, it does want to send the excess power back to the grid, but when we're not connected to the grid, it has nowhere to send that. So I don't think it's safe to have that one turned on. So I would turn that one off. If the grid goes down, I'd turn my big system off, leave the small system on, and it does actually charge this. The app is confused. It doesn't say that it's getting, the battery itself says it's getting charged, but the app doesn't say anything about solar charging it. The other thing, at the first of the video, I mentioned how you could save money with the system by using the power from the battery during on-peak hours and charging it during off-peak hours. In my situation, I'll put up how much I would save a year. Your situation is going to vary because your rates are different. The other mode is self-consumption mode, and that's what we're on. Basically, when the sun is up, it charges the battery and it doesn't use any power from the grid to charge the battery. And then when the sun goes down, it uses the power from the battery to run the house. So technically, we're hardly using any grid power at all. So it's pretty cool in that aspect. All in all, I'm super impressed with the system. It doesn't last as long as you would like, so that is one concern of mine. But other than that, it does automatically turn over and turn all the things, and it can run 6,000 watts, which is plenty. It has another hook up here, so you can add a whole nother one of these F3800s, and you can double the output and double the capacity. That's why I went with larger wire, just in the future if I ever wanted to do that. All right, guys, to end this video, I need to tell you that the Anker F3800 home power system serves as a comprehensive power backup solution during power outages and functions as a solar energy system for everyday use. Click the link below and use the promo code to get 28% off the Anker SOLIX F38 and its bundles. Thank you, Anker SOLIX, for sponsoring this video, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. I'm working hard. Hey, nah. That's a rock. Nah. No.